Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sports Now, the show where we go over and debate the biggest stories in sports. I'm Josh Heller, as always, joined by my co-host, Logan Ripley. Logan, we've been on a long hiatus. How you been?
It's been a very long hiatus. We're back here with you guys on Sports Now. I've been all right. I mean, Celtics have been struggling.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into the playoff picture here in the NBA, and we'll cover some hockey minute,
Thank you.
and a couple big trades in the NFL have gone down today and in the past. That's gonna shift the draft, and MLB. Guys who have been standing out, people that are hurt, people that are coming back possibly, and then of course we're gonna end it all with trivia. So I guess we'll start with the hard court here.
Yeah.
And get into our playoff update.
And predictions, yes. The bracket was never, or our last show was a week ago,
Yeah.
and the playoff bracket wasn't official until after that, so we never got to do our predictions. So let's run down. Do you want to start with the East or the West? I can read them off to you.
I guess we'll start with the East.
All right. So in the East,
I've got them actually right in front of me.
okay. Well, Cleveland's up 1-0 over the Detroit Pistons in their series. Hawks are up 2-0 over Boston. The Heat are up 1-0 over the Hornets, and the Raptors and Pacers are tied at 1. So let me get your predictions. Cleveland, Detroit.
I think it's gonna be the Cavs in 6 games.
I think I might have said Cavs in 5 actually.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
five's
Cavs
a
in 5.
solid pick. Just I watched the first game between them, and I think they play tonight, Wednesday, also.
Yes, they do.
And I mean the Detroit played a great game, and they just lost it at the end. They could have beat the Cavs in the first game, so they're down 1-0, I believe, right now, like you said.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna take one of these games on the road, and win a few at home, and the Cavs are gonna probably win out to win it. So 6, I think Cavs are gonna get done 6.
All right.
They're pretty healthy. Kevin Love's playing in his first real playoff series after getting hurt versus the Celtics last year.
Yeah.
Of course, Kyrie was hurt last year also. They both had the big games for them, and LeBron was just a big facilitator of the ball. So J.R. Smith, he struggled last year in the playoffs. He needs to get it going if they're going to challenge the Warriors in the championship game.
All right. Now, much to the dismay of both you and I, the Boston Celtics are down in their series against the Hawks 2-0. When I filled out my bracket, I had the Celtics winning it in 7. Could still technically happen, but we looked at their last game, which was Tuesday night, where they scored 7 points in the first quarter. What are you seeing? Is it something that the Hawks are doing well, or something that the Celtics are doing poorly?
I guess we'll start the first game. The last probably 10 games, we have not been scoring at all in the first half. We've been predominantly a end of the third quarter and fourth quarter team, and we had a couple comeback wins towards the end to finish our year. Isaiah Thomas has not been scoring well. He's been getting to the basket, but he's been getting blocked a lot. I think he's a little fatigued after the long year, putting up so many points and logging a lot of minutes, which he has not done a lot in the past, where he's been a 6-man for most teams, rather starting this year. For the Hawks, their defense has been all right, but they're giving up one of the highest shooting percentages in the league this year, and the Celtics just haven't been shooting the ball well. I think they shot around 20% for the first half, and I think the Hawks only shot around 40%, but they had that big lead on them, mostly because we were turning the ball over, but I think turnovers were even in the second game after the first half. But, what a big deficit that they couldn't overcome. They got it down to around 10 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of broadcasters had been saying how the absence of Avery Bradley, because he will not be playing, I don't think the rest of the series, if they win, then he might be able to play the next round.
Right.
But the absence of him was mostly on the defensive side. But Avery Bradley is the second leading scorer on this team, so that kind of hurts, and it's making Terry Rozier, the point guard from Louisville, if you remember, last year, and R.J. Hunter, the shooting guard from Georgia State, they're logging a lot of minutes now, where during the season they really didn't play a lot. So, they're struggling a little bit. Terry Rozier had a decent game last game. He played around 22 minutes. I think he was in double figures. Amir Johnson had a good game. That just shows that we can be more physical than them and score down low. I think we took too many jump shots. Once we were missing shots, it just looked like there was a lid on the basket. We just weren't making anything. The Hawks made a few shots. Bazemore has been having a great final half of the year for the Hawks and series also. I think they could pull it off. It all depends on this next game.
So what's your prediction for the series? Let me get your non-biased opinion.
It's a hard prediction.
Non-biased opinion.
I don't know if that's ever possible. I'll give you a situation. If they win the next game, I think they can win the series. If they lose the next game, they're going to lose the series.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to next one, the Heat and the Hornets. The Heat are up 1-0 so far. I'm gonna say, and if I remember correctly, Game 1 was pretty big deficit.
A blowout.
Yeah.
It was the highest points ever scored by the Heat.
Yeah.
In a playoff game. I think it was up in the 128 range.
I am going to go with Heat in 6. What do you think?
Heat in 5.
Okay.
I think that Charlotte's used up all their magic towards the end of the year. Kemba had a really good year, but they showed nothing. And you could say the Celtics showed nothing either, also, but they kept it close in the first game for a little bit.
Okay.
The Heat just blew the Hornets out, and I think they're going to continue to.
All right. And then the last matchup in the East, the Raptors and the Pacers. When I filled out my bracket, I had Raptors in 5.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's very likely after the big upset by the Pacers.
In Game 1, yep.
Yeah.
The Raptors just look so good to me, and I have them in my final against the Warriors.
You had them making it all the way to the championship?
Yes, I did.
Yikes.
Yeah, hey, it's not over yet. That Pacers team, I didn't really think they were that good, and then I saw them play in Game 1, and then it's just Paul George, supporting cast, Paul George, and it's just the way that they could from what I saw towards the end of the game against the Pacers, I only watched a little bit of it, is just the way that they could shut down Toronto, and just Kyle Lowry just doesn't look like the all-star that he was. He didn't look good in that first game.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry, and then you could add on top of him, DeRozan has been carrying that team, I thought. Terrence Ross had been coming off the bench. I don't know if that's still true. And then the other point guard for the Hawks, Teague, he played very well the other night, but he's been struggling this year. These were guys last year that they're like, oh, they need to make the All-Star team. They've been underrated this whole time. Then they have a good year. Now this year, it's like, where'd they go?
Right.
Lillard went from behind them in the tier point guards to the top with Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry. So I think those guys need to step up if their teams are going to win anything. Right now, George Hill's looking like a very good point guard for the Pacers. Defense and everything. They have a somewhat younger team, the Pacers, but they're also experienced. They have guys that have been in the starlight before. Monte Ellis at the shooting guard position, and then like we said, Paul George on that Eastern Conference team that couldn't beat the Heat for 2 years. They got there. Jordan Hill has been around for a while, a great player. They also have Ty Lawson coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And Solomon Hill, who's a small forward, has been there for a while. And I think that the real big difference maker is CJ Miles off the bench. And he's a forward guard combo for the Pacers. And I think they just have so many interchangeable parts. And, Paul George is your star, and you're, of course, going to ride him. But Monte Ellis is a flat-out scorer. And for DeRozan to cover him might be a little hard, even though he's a very good defender. I mean, DeRozan's a lot bigger than Ellis. So if George is covering DeRozan and, say, Ellis is covering the point guard Lowry on the Raptors, George Hill I think George Hill's bigger than Monte Ellis.
Okay,
So
I don't know.
I think he is going to be the guy that you want to watch and going to be the difference maker on the team, because I think in all of basketball nowadays, college, NBA, the point guard wins you games.
Yeah.
And I think that you don't necessarily have to have the best point guard overall. They just need to play well, steady. And like you said, when we started this Eastern Conference thing, Pacers beat the Raptors have been struggling at the point guard position. So I think that the Raptors might take the next game, but Indiana, I think, they're going to win both at home.
Okay.
So I can see a 6. Pacers and 6.
Pacers and 6.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's run through the West quick here. We got the Warriors up 2-0 over Houston. The Warriors have just looked dominant.
I'll make it easy for you.
Yeah, Warriors in 4 or 5. What are you doing?
4.
I had 5 when I started. I'll give Houston a game.
Houston doesn't even. Can I just say Houston doesn't even deserve to be there?
No, they don't.
The Jazz should
be there.
My pick.
Yep.
I said before.
Yep.
They fired Kevin McHale, who was a very good coach.
Yep.
And they just fire him for no reason because their players are idiots. Like, Jazz should be there. If the Jazz were playing them, I'd say the Warriors in 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to stop on the Warriors really quick. Stephen Curry had an ankle injury in Game 1 of their series. He had an MRI. Nothing's wrong. The MRIs came back clean. He's questionable for Game 3.
Yeah, they handled the Rockets in Game 2
without Curry. Yep.
That just shows the Rockets,
When we were doing MVP talk, I had mentioned that the Warriors without Steph Curry, still a good team, but I thought they might run into trouble. If Game 2 is any symbols, they'll be fine if Curry's out. I
think it's the matchup. If they had to play the Mavericks, say, without Curry, that would be a little different story. Portland without Curry, Portland would win the series.
Yeah. Speaking of Portland, next series on our list, we have Clippers and Trailblazers. The Clippers are up 1-0 in their series. I went Clippers in 6.
Yeah, I still think Portland can make a jump. I really like Portland.
Yeah.
I think they have the best the very good young duo of point guard, shooting guard, backcourt. I think at one time the Wizards with John Wall and Bradley Beal, but they've been struggling a little bit.
They've struggled a lot, yep.
So I think that they're the best young duo, and I'd like to see them beat the Clippers. I think they can do it if the other role players play well on the defensive side of the ball and they get some scoring off the bench. Yeah, I think McCollum's got to play big. He's got to score about 30, and Lillard's got to score about 35 if they're going to beat the Clippers. I think they can take the next game. I say Portland in 7.
Okay. Next up is Thunder Mavericks. The series is tied at 1 right now.
Yeah.
I went with Thunder in 6.
I think this is going to go 7 games, and I think the Thunder are going to come out. This is one where I'm thinking, Thunder struggled last year. They didn't make the playoffs last year, I believe, because Durant was out, right?
I think you might be right. Or if they did, they barely squeaked in.
Yeah, they're either 8 or they didn't make it. So I'd like to see the Mavericks do well because, Dirk's, old. And I think they built a decent team. They still buy players a lot. Rick Carlisle has been one of the best coaches ever in the NBA. To get the Dallas team to 6th seed with Dirk Nowitzki kind of leading your squad and no other good young talent, I think they've done a very good job out there. And to have the series 1-1 right now, they could easily be down 2-0 after that layup by Adams.
Yeah, Steven Adams.
Yeah, he put the ball back in Game 2, and it was just in his hands when the buzzer went off to win it, and Mavericks squeaked away with a win there.
Yeah. Last matchup in the West.
Thunder in 6.
Oh, Thunder in 6? I thought you had said 7.
Yeah.
You want to go 6?
I feel 6.
Okay, all right. Last matchup in the West, we have Spurs and Grizzlies. The Spurs are up 2-0. Spurs are they're so good. I had Spurs in 5.
I don't think Memphis is going to win a game.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. So you had 2 sweeps in the West then, because you had Houston.
I had the Houston getting swept and Memphis getting swept.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have a problem with either of those. It's not even that the Grizzlies are that bad. It's just that the Spurs are that good.
The Grizzlies.
Are they still without Gasol?
They're out. They're without Gasol.
Okay.
And
that's a huge problem.
I don't want to say they're riddled with injuries because obviously they made it to the 7th seed in the West, which you have to be pretty good to do that. But they just, I don't know, they just don't have that thing for me,
Yeah.
I think the Spurs are just going to handle them.
Yeah. And then breaking news but right before we came onto the show today, the Timberwolves are finalizing a 5-year deal for Tom Thibodeau to be their Nets president and head coach. I love that too.
Because, Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, Garnett's coming back. He's going to be a big presence on defense for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's going to be teaching these young guys in practice, and Thibodeau is just one of the best defensive coaches as you've seen when he was with the Bulls.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the president/head coach. I can't wait to see what they do in the draft. They're going to go out and get one of those versatile guys. Shabazz Muhammad's coming into his own a little bit, and very good defender, can score the ball too.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach LaVine, of course, he's gonna. I think if they listen to Thibodeau there, and they play defense like he says to, Wiggins, in about 3 or 4 years, could be the best defensive player in the league and the best offensive player in the league. So, you know that he's a very good offensive player.
Yeah, he is.
He could be shut down on defense. Like
if you give him the right coach,
like Jimmy Butler and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so much themselves working on their own, but their coach helping them to be able to work on their own and things they have to elevate. Like Kawhi Leonard, Popovich.
Yeah.
You know, he knows the game, and he had people like Tim Duncan, who has been passing people in this late in his career with blocks and like rebounds. So of course he knows how to, you know, get to the glass and, you know, play defense. And Garnett's kind of the same type of player as Tim Duncan. So I feel like that kind of like parallels into you need a good defensive coach,
Mm-hmm.
good, and then, you know, if you already have the offense, you can get the defense later.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think they're gonna make the playoffs next year. So
Before we move on from the NBA, no explanation, just give me your answer. Who's in your finals and who's the champion?
that's hard. That's very hard. I don't know if I can do that.
Do you have a champion at least?
Who's in it again? That's hard. I gotta think about it. I don't know who's gonna be playing who next.
Okay.
Do we not know? We don't.
Well,
like,
none of the series are done.
I mean, if I guess the first round, who do you know who's gonna be playing who next?
I don't
Did you
have that window open at the moment.
Do
Do you think all right, let me ask you this. Who's
the
going to win
Warriors
the
will
West?
beat the Rockets. I think did they make it so the Warriors are gonna play the Spurs in the Western
No, the
Conference?
Warriors
would
would
play them in round 2.
No, round 2, the Warriors would play the winner of the Clippers and the Blazers.
Oh, so I think it's gonna be Spurs Blazers in the Western Conference.
In the Western Conference Finals?
And the Spurs are gonna go to the championship.
Okay.
And then, do you remember the Cavs?
The Cavs would play the winner of the Hawks Celtics.
Hawks Celtics. The Celtics squeaking out. I think we're still gonna get beat by the Cavs.
And then the
Cavs.
bottom, the winner of Raptors Pacers would play the winner of Heat Hornets.
Pacers, Heat Hornets, Pacers, Cavs.
Pacers. Oh,
Just for an upset.
Oh, it's your
Pacers,
March Madness bracket.
Spurs.
It's your March Madness bracket all over
Pacers,
again.
Spurs.
I
Just kidding.
have-
It's probably gonna be the Cavs. It's either gonna be the Cavs and the Spurs, or it's gonna be the Cavs and the Warriors.
Yeah,
most
I
likely.
have Warriors over Raptors, but I'm feeling shaky on that. Let's move to NHL. I'm gonna update you on the playoff matchup starting in the East because East Coast bias.
Hockey minute.
The Islanders lead their series over Florida 2-1. The Lightning lead their series over Detroit 3-1 as Nikita Kucherov has, I believe, 5 goals this playoffs. The Capitals lead the Flyers 3-0. Not a good look for the Flyers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins took a 2-1 series lead over the Rangers last night. Yay! Over to the West.
Josh is upset.
Don't even worry about it. In the West, the Stars are up on the Wild 2-1. The St. Louis Blues are up on the defending champion Blackhawks 3-1. I really like the Blues this year. The Predators surprisingly lead the Ducks 2-1, and the Sharks are up on the Kings 2-1. And then really quick, my prediction before
I'm predicting too.
Before the bracket.
I got it up right here.
Oh, you got it?
I'm ready to predict.
All right.
I've been falling a little bit.
Okay, so I have
All right, we'll start at the top left.
so the West.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Let's
Dallas
go quick
versus
here.
The Coyotes.
Wild.
Stars.
I'll go Stars.
All right.
Blues, Blackhawks. I'll go Blackhawks.
Now, just finish,
Blues.
Just
Sorry.
finish out that one then. So you have Stars versus the Blues. Who's gonna win that?
I'm going to go with the Blues.
Okay. So Blues are getting into the championship game.
The conference final.
Conference final. And then
Ducks, Predators. I think the Ducks can come back.
Okay. LA and the Sharks.
You can never count out LA, so I'm going to go LA.
All right. So LA versus the Ducks.
LA. again.
Okay, so that you have a final for
The West
Blues versus the
versus
LA
the Kings.
Kings.
Yeah,
All right.
and I'm going to go with the Kings.
Okay, so the top right you have what are they, Jaguars?
Panthers.
Panthers versus the Islanders.
I picked Florida before this, but yeah, I'll stick with Florida. I'll do
All
Florida.
right, Florida, and then you have the Lightning versus the
Yeah,
Flyers.
No, Red Wings.
Red Wings.
Lightning.
All right, so the Lightning, then Lightning versus
The Panthers.
and you have
That's tough. I'll go Lightning.
okay. He has the Lightning into the conference game.
Yeah.
Eastern Conference game.
Yeah.
Capitals. Why is the Eastern Conference on the right?
That's just
what
the way
is
it works.
going on? Capitals versus the Flyers. Sorry, Flyers fans, for me messing you up. With the
Capitals. Gotta be Capitals.
Okay, so Penguins versus the Rangers.
Penguins.
All right, Penguins versus the Capitals.
Penguins.
All right, so Penguins versus who'd you have?
The Lightning.
Lightning.
Penguins.
Penguins. So you have a final of
The Penguins and the Kings,
King.
and I am going to go with the Penguins.
okay.
They just look too good. They were the hottest team coming in the playoffs.
I like
Better to be riding the momentum.
So for some reason I like the Blues also. So I'm gonna have the Blues versus the Kings like you, but I'm gonna have the Blues winning, and then I'm gonna have the Lightning versus the Capitals and the Capitals. So I'm going to have the Blues versus the Capitals with the Blues winning.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Good luck with that prediction.
Yeah. So out of Chicago last night, Andrew Shaw had to publicly apologize as he called a ref a homophobic slur.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, received a lot of backlash on Twitter and other social media. Not a good look for Shaw.
Where's he from?
He's Canadian.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
so
anyway.
that's not excusable then. Not that it's excusable with anyone. It's just if he's from a different country, then I mean, it's Canada.
And then Calgary goaltender Jonas Hiller has signed with Switzerland's club EHC Biel for 3 years. He is going back overseas. That's all I got for hockey. Let's run through the NFL really quick here. Was a little while ago, a few days ago now. I think it was Friday.
Yep.
The Rams traded up for the number 1 pick. It was, if you let me pull it up, Tennessee got the Rams' first-round pick, the 2 second-round picks in 2016, a third-round pick in 2016, a first-round pick in 2017, and a third-round pick in 2017, while the Rams got the first overall pick, a 2016 fourth, and a 2016 sixth.
Yeah, so the Rams have really loaded into
that's
this.
so much.
They loaded into this draft, pretty
Yeah.
much, I guess you could say, and the Titans kind of moved back into future drafts. They probably didn't see anyone that they're thinking, we need. They have a quarterback in Mariota.
They probably would have gotten the Laramie Trunzel. Is that his name?
Trunzel, the offensive tackle.
Yeah, that's probably who they would have gotten.
You really don't want to take an offensive tackle the first overall pick unless he's just a dominating force.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't a left tackle.
I don't know.
I'm not
because
sure. That's the kind of tackle that you take that early.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been the one that could play at different places.
Might have been.
But yeah, I would say the Rams win the trade. In the present,
I would say the Titans win the trade.
Win it. I know people. You would say that.
The Rams.
You would say that. The Rams.
They gave up so much.
They have such a good team right now, though. They have
a great defense.
They need a quarterback,
defense.
Josh.
They do need.
All they do is need a quarterback.
I understand.
And
that.
they would give all that up to get a quarterback.
The quarterback that they need, is it one of these two guys? Are they that good?
Oh yeah, Carson Wentz.
I don't think they're like Mariota Winston levels though from last draft.
Oh, they're better. Winston was
Agree
very
to
good.
Disagree.
Mariota was good to start, and then he struggled. He
was injured.
Wentz is gonna be the same as Bortles. Give him a year, and Bortles played great last year.
Well, so do you want to give up that many picks just to have a quarterback just not even really play a year, not play well, and then he's Bortles level, which is still
Teddy Bridgewater was picked in the last part of the first round.
I understand that. Yeah.
They could have got someone like that, but you want to put your faith in a guy that they really like, and I think that the Rams have really got under Fisher's wing, Jeff Fisher, and just saying we're just gonna do what you want because they signed him for another year. So
okay.
For the Eagles,
yes,
just happened today.
Trade that just happened. Yeah. The Browns received Philadelphia's number 8 overall pick, third and fourth round picks in this draft, next year's first, and a second round in 2018. While the Eagles got the second overall pick. and another pitch, which I don't have in front of me.
Yeah, Browns won that one hands down. I think that was a very good trade for the Browns.
I
They
agree.
need more players.
Thank you for agreeing with me on that one.
Well, no, you can't pick this. You can't always pick the teams that get the most picks.
No, I understand. No, I understand that.
I
But,
think the Rams
all
were just taking the best thing that they need.
Well,
They're trying to fill the
right,
worst gap.
let's take the timeout. You remember when the Powerball was, what was it, $1 billion?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want a really good shot at winning the lottery or a bunch of good shots? Because I'd rather have a bunch of good shots than one better shot.
That comparison does
Don't
not
even.
work.
All right, we're moving on.
That analogy does not work.
That moves it. All right, we're going to
MLB before we start fighting.
It's too late.
Yu Darvish progressing well from Tommy John surgery, could be back by mid-May.
I have him in fantasy baseball, so I'm hoping that happens. But
Yeah.
he had Tommy John. I think he got hurt early last season. I'm pretty sure it was early.
It wasn't at the end of 2014.
Oh, it might have been actually. Yeah, because he missed, if not
He
most of
missed
last. He
all
missed
last
all.
year.
Yeah.
I think it was at the end of 2014 where he was just dominating.
Yeah.
You know, when he first came over, which was that 2013 he came over?
I think so, because
He-
it was a year before Tanaka.
Yeah, Tanaka came 2014, so he came in 2013.
Yeah.
And he got hurt at the end of 2013. Yu Darvish along with Tanaka.
We don't want to talk about
Hopefully
that.
Tanaka gets
Oh,
better.
he was so dominant when he first
Yeah,
came over.
they are both really dominant. And Yu Darvish, did he not win the Cy Young? I'm pretty sure he did win the
He
Cy
might
Young
have. He
that
was up
year.
there for voting if he didn't.
Yeah, he was very good. I think he's going to come back better than ever, honestly.
I agree.
I mean, he's out long enough.
I think he's gonna be great.
I don't think he rushed it. I think they did exactly what they wanted to do. And they knew their team last year wasn't going to really make a big buzz, but this year I think they're going to do pretty well.
Yeah, a lot of experts I've seen experts in quotation marks are picking the Rangers to make it to the World Series, which is very wow.
Compared to how that was.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Kyle
And-
Schwarber, what do you got for him?
So it was a good while ago now, probably a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
that he had the severely sprained ankle, torn PCL, and torn ACL. He just had successful surgery yesterday, Tuesday. Expected to have a full recovery. Meanwhile, the Red Sox starting pitcher Joe Kelly goes to the disabled list, so their pitching staff is going to be tested early in the season.
Joe Kelly!
Do you have anything you want to add before we get into trivia?
Joe Kelly was pitching pretty well.
Yeah, he didn't look bad.
No, so that's kind of a hurt for them where they don't even have a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Trivia now on Sports Now, and who's going to start this one off, Josh?
Why don't you start?
I'll start, I guess.
Yeah.
Basketball question.
Go ahead.
It's going to be hard because I'm not going to give you anything
Wonderful.
for this. So I'm giving you easy ones. Los Angeles Clippers shooting guard Jamal Crawford became the first player to win the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award for the third time in his career this week.
Mm-hmm.
Name the three others that have won the award twice.
Twice?
Yep.
3 others? Oh, man. There's no way. Lou Williams.
No.
All right,
I'll just give you multiple guesses to get one.
All right, go.
All right, I'll give you the year, actually.
Oh, good.
84, 85, Celtics.
Celtics?
84, 85.
I have no idea.
This is the easiest one to get.
No, I have no idea.
All right, let's just say...
Danny Ainge.
All right, hold up. He was a coach.
Kevin McHale.
There you go.
Okay.
Kevin McHale, yep. Bucks shooting guard / small... Oh, you're not going to get this. Ricky Pierce.
No.
87
No.
and 90. This one you could get.
This is so hard.
I know him.
Okay.
Pacers small forward / power forward. He's a foreign-born player. Won it in 91, 92. He was on another team. What's the other team he was on? Tall white guy.
Oh, thanks.
He's one of the best. He's probably the best. Well, they're gonna say Crawford is, but he was like one of the best off the bench players ever. His first name's Detlef.
Oh, Detlef Schrempf.
Yep.
Oh, come on. Parts and Rec. That's where I know him from.
Yeah. No, Detlef Schrempf was amazing. He was nasty.
All right, so I'm 0 for 1. I didn't get that one. That's up.
No, you can't.
No, I'm not
I mean,
taking
that was a
it.
harder
All
question.
right, I'll take a half point.
It was a modern question.
I'll take a half point.
Okay.
What are my categories here?
Let's see. You have either baseball, tennis, cricket,
Wow.
football, American football.
I'll take baseball.
Okay, that's what I thought. 'Cause I have a good baseball one for you.
Oh, good. All right. Hard?
All right, here we go.
Oh, man.
Which was the only team to win 2 World Series in the 1980s? Was it A, the New York Yankees, B,
To win
Boston-
to win multiple World Series in that
2
decade?
World Series in the 1980s, so 1980 through
to
89.
Yep. Okay.
So was it, what did I say, A,
Yankees.
B, Boston Red Sox, C, Oakland A's, or D, Los Angeles Dodgers?
Yankees, Red Sox, A's, Dodgers. Is
Yep.
that what you said? I'm going to go Dodgers.
Correct.
Oh, sweet. I knew it
Nice.
wasn't the Yankees. I knew it wasn't the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if the A's had won it by then.
All those other ones just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome.
All right, so I have 1.5.
All right,
What's
your
my-
last? Let's see what I want your last to be.
Oh boy.
We did basketball, so might as well. Oh. No, that's hard.
Okay.
That's hard. Before. Oh, all right. This is kind of a good one.
Okay, go ahead.
Um,
What sport?
Football.
Football. Okay.
Okay. Which is the coldest game in NFL history? Now, if you remember, the Vikings game this year versus the Seattle Seahawks
was very cold. Yes, it was like
So
-9. I
That's
think.
A.
Okay.
B, the 1967 NFL championship game between the Cowboys and the Packers, or C, the Packers and Cowboys in 1969.
I am going to go with B.
You're correct.
Oh wow, what did you guess?
Can you guess the degrees?
Is it in the negatives?
Yes,
-15.
13.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Not bad.
All right, sweet. All right, so I had 2.5 out of 3.
Yeah.
All right, your categories: baseball, basketball, football.
I guess I'll take baseball.
All right, they all have to do with playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yep. All right.
Talking about
Out
playoffs?
of the top 5 all time in sorry. 1 second. Out of the top 5 all time in hits in the postseason,
Okay.
how many? Well, the top 5, but 2 people tied for 5. Okay, so keep
Alright.
that in mind. Out of the
Oh,
top,
God.
out of the top
So
5,
there's really 6 players?
yeah,
then?
out of the top 5, out of the 6 players
Okay.
that have the most hits all time in the postseason,
Okay.
how many once played for the Yankees? No choices.
How many of them once played for the Yankees?
Yeah, out of the 6 players, how many of them were once a Yankee?
And this is the top 5 hits.
Yeah, well, top 6 technically,
Or
but
top
yeah,
6.
hits
So out of 6 players, how many have played for the Yankees?
at one point or another. Yep.
Well, all right. Who are people that played a lot in the playoffs? All of them. Oh God, I'm gonna say 4.
That is correct.
Oh, all right.
Can you guess any of them?
Was one an outfielder? Was it
2 technically.
Barry? Was Babe Ruth in there?
Nope.
Was Lou Gehrig in there?
Nope. None of the old time guys.
No Mickey Mantle?
Nope.
Derek Jeter?
Yeah, he is number 1 with 200 hits.
Bernie?
He is number 2 with 128 hits.
Did Kenny Lofton play for us?
He is number 5, tied for 5th with 97 points. Or 97 hits. Can you guess the last one?
Raul Ibanez?
Nope.
Who?
Jorge Posada, 103.
Jorge.
And then Manny Ramirez is in 3rd with 117. Chipper Jones was tied with Lofton with 97.
That was kind of luck.
All right, so
I
you
assumed
got
that
it,
there
though.
was a lot of them.
You got it right. Do you want basketball or football?
Football, please.
Football. Who leads the NFL in single playoff touchdowns? Total touchdowns.
Okay.
Is it Terrell Davis, John Riggins, Larry Fitzgerald, or Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice.
Incorrect. He had
Terrell Davis then.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
He had 8 in 1997. Fitzgerald had 7 in 2008. Riggins had 6 in 83, and Rice had 6 in 88. So there you go. All right, so you are 1 for 2, and now basketball.
Okay.
Who leads NBA history in single playoffs points per game?
Single playoffs points per game.
Yep.
NBA history. Okay.
I'm going to give you the player and the year, okay?
players and year.
Yeah.
4 players.
And this is going to be tough.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, this is going to be tough.
So it's points per game. So points per game average.
Yeah, over the course of the playoffs. Yep.
Of all playoffs they've ever played.
No, from one certain year of playoffs.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that makes it a little easier, actually.
All right, so is it Wilt Chamberlain in 1961, LeBron James in 2009, Michael Jordan in 1990, or Michael Jordan in 1986?
Michael Jordan, 1986, because he scored 63 versus the Celtics.
That is correct. Can you guess the points per game?
38.
43.67.
I
You're so good.
I actually, that's a famous game. That's when Michael Jordan kind of came on the map when he scored 63 versus the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big deal.
All right, we got to end this off quick. Thank you for listening to Sports Now on Radio St. Rose. You could follow the show on Twitter at RSR Sports Now. You can follow my personal Twitter at Josh_Heller20.
Follow me at lowercase LOJN_RIPLEY.
You can find archive shows on our YouTube page. Search Sports Now on YouTube, or find direct links on our social media. You can find us on Facebook if you search Sports Now on Facebook. Thank you for listening to Sports Now on Radio St. Rose. Be sure to tune in next time for all the latest news around the sports world.